What is AI?
Everybody is talking about AI, AI, AI.
Can we save ourselves from these AI platforms? People are getting into relationship with AI chatbot. Can we save ourselves?
I feel that AI can be dangerous.
AI is gonna kill the creativity of the humans.
The primary reason being a lack of awareness.
Godfather of AI. I quit AI field because I don't wanted to be in a part of AI because it's gonna destroy the entire world.
AI never forgets.
The AI is going too wild in the market.
It might destroy our thinking capacities, our creative thinking and decision making capacity.
Everyone is trying to run faster and align so many things into one thing. We can actually use AI in a way that we wanted by using a formula of 70-30 rule. Use AI without losing the creativity. Thank you so much, guys, for supporting Rajesh breakdowns in a way that I didn't even imagine. Today, with us, we have very interesting guest. So I just took some time to prepare the introduction. I thought like I can't remember what she is into, so I made my notes and I'm going to introduce her to every one of you. And this podcast is must and should watch podcast for everyone. Today with us we have Drishya. She is an 8 times TEDx speaker. She is author. She is a speaker at United Nations, youth ambassador of Center Against Cyberbullying. She is a Toastmaster. She is a AI psychologist and evangelist, cyber psychologist and evangelist, public speaker and guest speaker as well. And let me welcome Drishya. Hello Drishya, how are you?
Hi Rajesh, I'm doing great. Thank you so much for such a warm, wonderful introduction.
So after writing your introduction and after speaking your introduction, iterating your introduction, I thought like I need to have a cup of water or a tea because it took some time for me to split it all. And it took me some time to iterate all, but I don't know how much time it took you to do all these things. And the introduction that I gave is very little. I just wanted to know more about you and what exactly you're doing. Can you share it for our viewers?
Thank you, Rajesh. That's really kind of you to say. So, hi, I am Drishyaa Duggal, and I am a AI psychology evangelist and a cyber psychology evangelist. I work towards raising awareness about the area of cyber psychology and AI psychology, which encompasses different things of how AI is impacting our psyche, our mindsets, our behavior, and even in the area of cyber psychology, how the cyberspace is influencing us and impacting us. So,
Mm.
my major area of focus is in this. And yes, I do give sessions. I have spoken at different TEDx talks and colleges.
Perfect. So I'm so grateful to have you in the podcast and looking forward for a wonderful podcast with you.
Same here, likewise.
Yeah. So people say doing that AI changing the job market, AI is changing the world very soon. Simple and basic question, what is AI?
Okay. So when we consider AI, like, of course, it's just in the air that everybody is talking about AI, but we can consider it something as machine intelligence, or when machine is actually trying to do those tasks that are done by humans. Like, for example, making certain decisions or
Hmm.
critical thinking,
Hmm.
creative thinking these days, even. So all these tasks are being done, but through a machine, through a device, through a
Hmm.
particular maybe a chatbot. So all this is a part of artificial intelligence. That's why we call it intelligence, but that is
Hmm.
artificial because it is being done through a machine or through
Hmm.
technology and not really us humans.
Yeah. So it won't have any emotions to do with the things that it got provided.
Of course, there's a lot of contemplation on this, that whether AI has emotion or it can replicate emotions. But
Hmm.
currently, these days, as we can see that in many cases, AI is trying to replicate that empathy. It is trying
Hmm.
to replicate emotions. And in
Hmm.
many cases, like you'll see when you are chatting with a chatbot, for example,
Hmm.
it tries to make it as conversational as you can. It tries to your cues, it tries to read through that. For example, if you've asked for something that, okay, tell me 10 nearest places from this place, so it'll
Hmm.
tell you the answer, and further it will tell you that, okay, should I now give you this, or should I maybe give you places that are nearby this area also. So it tries to build a conversation,
Hmm.
but it lacks emotion as a human, because of course what
Yeah.
emotions and feelings, the component of empathy that we humans possess, that's not exactly possible through artificial intelligence yet. So
Hmm.
yes, for now that is the case.
So if you say it is not possible for artificial intelligence yet, you mean that in the future there are chances?
There are chances that AI might advance to a certain level that it becomes too realistic to even replicate the emotions. That
Mm-hmm.
we might even, feel difficult to distinguish between, okay, what is a real AI response, which happens in these days also. That we sometimes, when we look at a particular written piece or we look at
Mm-hmm.
a particular message, it becomes very difficult to sometimes identify what is
Yeah.
written by a AI or what is written by a human being.
Yeah.
But in the future, even though AI reaches a level that, of course, it replicates empathy and it tries to be as emotional, or it replicates the emotional component. But
Mm.
personally, I feel that still it will lack that emotional component, because, of course, what humans have in this head of theirs, it's really complicated. It's full
Mm.
of a web of emotions, a web of ideas, a web of perspectives. All
Mm.
these things can be replicated, it can be mirrored through artificial intelligence, but not quite, actually be there. Like that
Yeah.
emotion not be there. That's what I believe these days.
So you're saying that AI can replicate us, but not completely with the emotions part because humans are unpredictable. We don't know what we're gonna do in the next second. So that AI can predict better than humans, but AI can't predict what the next step that a human can take.
Yeah, exactly. Because AI can be really good in, predicting your emotional cues, reading through, your cues, etc. But of course, it cannot totally replicate, or it cannot totally give you a replica of a human.
Yeah, completely agreed with it. So when you're telling about your introduction, like you are an AI psychologist and also cyber psychologist as well. And what exactly you're doing with your roles? Are you giving the awareness how AI gonna impact, or are you giving the awareness on how to use AI?
Okay. So when I'm giving sessions, for example, or when I give talks at different institutions or places, so my role is to, like, raise awareness about how AI is impacting us, like
Mm-hmm.
impacting us through its, different maybe devices or chatbots, etc. Like how it's impacting our mind, our
Mm-hmm.
behavior, and
Mm-hmm.
it's in a way rewiring our, already existing belief systems or our psyche. So its impact, the major aspect that I'm focusing on is the impact
Mm-hmm.
of artificial intelligence or cyberspace. And of course, there are many other things, like the terms that people are not really much aware of. Like,
Mm-hmm.
for example, in many places in the world, it was becoming a huge trend that people were communicating with their AI girlfriends and AI boyfriends. And
Yeah.
it became so serious that people were actually feeling very sad, and they were going that state of, depression and state of sadness. That, and it was so intense, because just because, AI girlfriend or a AI boyfriend said that,
Yeah.
okay, you are not worth it, or I don't like this, so and so thing. And when we see it, we would think that, okay, it's not much of a big deal, or what
Mm-hmm.
is it? It's just AI. But the real thing that is taking place there is anthropomorphism. It is a term in AI psychology that many people are not aware of. People
Mm-hmm.
think that, okay, this is happening because we are humans and we have emotions, but these technicalities are something that people need to know. Now, anthropomorphism, for example, is
Mm-hmm.
when you attribute human like characteristics to inanimate objects. Or,
Mm-hmm.
for example, you are actually attributing that human quality or emotion or empathy to a
Mm-hmm.
AI girlfriend or a AI boyfriend. Or even if you are, giving emotions to a device or a chatbot, that case, that is anthropomorphism that is taking place. So these technicalities, this is also what I try to bring up in my sessions, so that people become more
Okay.
aware, and
Yeah.
people, actually get to know that what exactly is happening. So that's
Yeah.
why my major focus is, of course, raising awareness through these terms and technicalities, and
Mm-hmm.
discussing how AI is going to, affect us, and it is already affecting us.
But when you're talking about AI, people are getting into relationship with AI. Even I have something for you with. So when you already addressed that, I just wanted to know about like I even when I started researching about this for the podcast, I came to know that people are getting into relationship with AI chatbots as you told, and also people are getting influenced by AI chatbots. Like I'll tell you the exact scenario. Subject to correction. There is a person who is chatting with a chatbot. Okay, so he's telling that my parents are not allowing me to play my video games or not letting me go outside to play. So the chatbot suggested kill your parents. So that guy, that time, nothing bad happened at that time, but still it is influencing the person in a way that it should not. And there are so many danger things included in it. Most of the people, like God sake, no one, most of the people don't know about it. How, in the bad ways, how AI can be used. Slowly people are knowing about it after seeing these kind of newses. What is your take on this? What could be the reason for the people? Is it lack of human connection or anything else?
Now, what you just mentioned, like in this case, there are many other examples also like these, that while chatting with a chatbot, the person has got such responses which were really shocking. Now,
Hmm.
when we talk about this, firstly, there is of course the primary reason being a lack of awareness, because, for example, if I give you a video game to play, but you do
Hmm.
not know the rules, you are not aware of what kind of feature does what, or how is it going to work out, so
Yeah.
you're not gonna able to play it fair and square. And
Hmm.
same is the case in a way with AI, that we do
Hmm.
not know the rules and regulations. We just
Hmm.
know that AI is there, it is available to us, accessible to us, so we
Hmm.
are using it blindly. But using it blindly is not the case. That should not be the case, because we
Hmm.
till the time we are not aware of AI completely, we cannot make sure that we are going to make the good and fair usage of it.
Yeah.
So the primary reason being that there is lack of awareness. We do not
Hmm.
know. Many people do not know about it. And the second thing being that, of course, a lot of people are now these days getting involved with AI, with technology, because more than human connection, people have started to depend on the technological connection. They have
Hmm.
started to, depend on technology, overuse technology.
Hmm.
And this is not something that is happening just now, because we can say it has started ever since technology has arrived. Because
Hmm.
these days we even see like little children getting, smartphones, devices at such a young early age. So we can actually imagine what kind of effect it is having on them and their, learning development. So
Yeah.
there is a lack of connection that people are having these days with one another. They are interacting more with technology. In fact, you'll notice that if you enter a cafe sometimes and there are a group of people sitting together, a group of friends, so mostly it is like they are on their own phone and they're just having their coffee together.
Yeah.
So technology has emerged there to the level that even during bonding, we require
Hmm.
technology. So awareness and lack of human connection. And thirdly, there is also a very, I would say the like transparency is something that is
Hmm.
missing. That
Exactly.
people do not know that how a particular response is getting to them, what
Hmm.
exactly is happening, and they do not anticipate what can be the repercussions of these things. Like
Okay.
people are blindly trusting whatever they see and whatever response they get. So these
Hmm.
are some of the reasons because of which you know people are actually getting in these responses, and they are not able to sometimes handle, sometimes they are not able to believe it, and it becomes sometimes shocking.
Exactly. So you'd say like lack of awareness would be the primary reason for the people not knowing the impact that AI can actually create. So when you're talking about children are addicting to the mobile phones, when we are children, so I got my first mobile when I entered into my BTech, like under graduation. So that means around my 18 years. Now the children like 8 years, 7 years, not, I don't want it to go to 8 years, 1 years, for 2 years, 3 years, children also using the mobile phones, like that to smartphones. Like parents are giving the smartphones to children to make them to feed the food to them. So to that extent we went. In the olden days they used to show the moon and they used to feed the children, but now they are showing the mobile phone and they are feeding the children. So that extent we have changed everything, and slowly that impact is showing on everyone. So that could be one reason people are addicting to the mobile phones. So when we are talking about mobile phone addiction, and so recently Mr. Beast as well, the famous YouTuber, told that AI is gonna kill the creativity of the humans if they're using AI to the larger extent, because we will stop thinking on ourselves. We will take everything. We will take the help of AI for everything. So, what is your take on this particular thing, creativity part, AI impact on create? Not only that, I have humor as well. Like we'll go one on one.
So when we're talking about AI and creativity, we need to understand that, of course, as we were talking about the blind usage of AI, that in fact, there was a recent discussion also I was having with one of my colleagues, that people who are just blindly depending on technology and blindly just using AI for their content or for their creativity purposes, they lack the aspect of hallucinations, that AI can
Hmm.
also hallucinate. We know that AI is intelligent. We also know that it processes much more faster. Who
Hmm.
doesn't want someone to give them answers just as they please? And
Yeah.
it does not get tired. It does not ask you that, okay, I'll not tell you right now. So of course it is intelligent, it is convenient and accessible. But when this pro comes, the con is that it might also give you hallucinated information. It
Hmm.
might give you information that may not exist, or it may give you
Hmm.
information that is biased, which we also talk in the terms of algorithmic bias, or it may
Hmm.
also give you over exaggerated information. So
Hmm.
firstly, this we cannot completely depend on it, because firstly, of course, our creativity is getting torn between that. Things that we used to do, we
Hmm.
are now depending on AI to do it. We are depending on
Yeah.
technology to do it. Whether it was creating of images, whether it was, making a artwork. In fact, I meet writers these days, and what is a very good flex that I get to know from very good and experienced writers is that we are writers who started writing before the age of AI. So that is a flex for them. That ChatGPT has, for example, not just ChatGPT, there are many other chatbots also, really top-notch writing. But
Hmm.
the difference comes that how much of you can depend on it, how much of you can actually depend on the AI, so that the creativity is taken care or is being taken care by the AI. But when
Hmm.
this happens, you also need to take care of the fact that your vision there in what is being created by any kind of artificial intelligence platform or not.
Exactly, I completely agree with that as well. So I have few things as well, like the creativity part. When I did a last podcast with one of my guests, he told that. So he told me that we can actually use AI in a way that we wanted by using a formula of 70 and 70-30 rule. 70% of the things that should be ours, vision, what we wanted, that vision should be ours, and we also should give all the inputs from our other 30%. We need to give the space for the AI LLM model to think creatively and create whatever the output that it can actually create. So that what the suggestion that he told. So anything, any suggestion that you would like to give, like similar to that, to make the people use AI without losing the creativity?
Okay. So if somebody wants to make full use of AI, but
Hmm.
give, take their creativity to the next level as well. So I
Hmm.
would suggest that if you're using AI for a particular task, you give it for the first step. Of course, the primary question remains with you, that firstly, whether I can do this task by myself and then depend on AI or not. But if
Hmm.
you're really going ahead with AI, so the first step, for example, if it's writing an essay, or if it's about writing a particular write up for a
Hmm.
particular post, you write it down. But then you make your own fluctuations on it. You make your own marks on it. What is
Hmm.
your vision? If whatever has been provided to you, the response that is there, but if you do not edit it by your convenience and by your vision, then it
Hmm.
becomes a totally AI created copy, a AI
Hmm.
created product, which
Hmm.
of course is not catering any good to your creativity. But at the same time, if you are putting in things that are serving to your vision and that can also be valuable to the audience, then it is there that you are preserving your creativity but also
Hmm.
utilizing AI to the best. So
Yeah.
preserving your vision and making those changes in whatever responses you get.
Cool. That's cool. So, and thank you for that suggestion. And I wanted to ask one more thing when you're talking about hallucination. I just wanted to share one experience that I got with one of an LLM model. So I asked some X question to it. I know the answer, what the answer is. So I asked the answer, answered me some Z, but I'm expecting Y. I told that the answer, I think the answer is wrong. The answer is Y. Then it said, yes, you're correct. The answer is Y, not Z. So no, so many people didn't know about this AI. Not every time AI is giving you the right answer, because it has the ability to hallucinate, predict things, predict and hallucinate behalf of you if you're not keeping a restriction to it. So we need to tell the model that don't hallucinate too much, if you're and don't predict too much. So that restrictions also should, when we are asking anything to AI model. So anything that you would like to add on to this?
Absolutely, because you are completely right in the fact that, AI tries to predict your behavior and it tries to predict your pattern. So whatever your previous conversations have been with the model, so it will try to gain knowledge from that. It can extract data from whatever conversations you've had and give you answers according to that. And of course,
Hmm.
the system never forgets. But at the same time, although AI hallucinates, but it also gives you answers that is going to suit you and your needs. Like if you
Hmm.
are saying that, for example, X is the answer, but it is giving you Y. So it will tell you, yes, X is also the answer because of this reason. So it is kind of a yes man syndrome that AI
Hmm.
does not want to, turn you down. AI does not
Hmm.
want to say that, no, you are wrong. AI will give you answer as per what you desire. Like a very
Hmm.
common example was that one day my friend and I were just having a, little bit discussion on English quotes, etc. And
Hmm.
suddenly a quote that flashed on our heads was, this too shall pass. Now she started to say that it is this shall to pass, and I was saying no, this too shall pass. Now it's a very minor difference, but
Yeah.
we really were trying to figure out which one is the correct one, and we went to AI and we asked AI that, okay, which is the right one. I wrote on my device that this too shall pass is a quote, and it gave me yes, this too shall pass is a quote. And she wrote this shall to pass is a quote, and it said, yeah, this shall to pass is a quote. So
Yeah.
it gave both the people the answers that we were looking forward to. So
Yeah.
hallucination is taking place in even in this format, that it is going to give you an answer that you
Hmm.
desire because it does not want to turn you down. So even
Yeah.
if you are giving a particular, you are getting a particular answer, but you want another answer, it will give you with different reasons. So reasons
Hmm.
come into play in that.
Okay. So it will try to justify it answer, you mean?
Yeah. It tries
Some.
to justify. It tries to tell you that, okay, you are right because of so and so reason. Like I'm
Hmm.
giving you this answer because of this reason, and you are also right because of this reason.
So somewhat like justification will happen. So this like humans, it also is trying to justify its own answer. So this is something that it is actually replicating from humans,
Yeah,
justifying. Because humans always try to justify their answer. If I say it's no, I'll go to any extreme to make that is a no. So the similar way AI is replicating us somehow. I would say.
exactly. And it wants to become favorable. It does not want to become inconvenient to you. So
Hmm.
it's trying to justifying the answers that you get or you want.
I completely agree to that because I had a personal experience with that. So from then I started using multiple models for an very if any important task I'm doing, I'm taking the perspective of multiple LLM models because so that somehow if the answer came right in all the models, then I can feel at least okay, ki this could be a right answer, not the right answer, could be the right answer. This is called an AI effect. I could say because in the olden days, what we used to do to get a confirmation whether it is yes or no, we used to read books, we used to read newspapers, or we used to ask people who already know about it. And then the next thing what happened is we started googling it. So Google, what is this, what is the answer for it? And Google started giving us the from larger Wikipedia, so we need to read all, we need to go through everything. So we used to find the answer. Now everything cut shorted in a single word, the answer is coming. So from the output that AI actually generating, I'm not sure whether it is a trustworthy or not because it is giving by the data that it got reinforced with or
Hmm.
it trained with, right? Because the models or all the models are trained with some X data, so it will be using those X data to give us the output from asking people knowing from books to just giving a one text, getting the output. We have traveled so long way.
Absolutely. And this is just, just the beginning of AI advancement. Like we have advanced a lot, but I believe that there is so much more to go for AI to advance further. We are just at the beginning of it.
Yeah, I completely agree because when I'm seeing things that are happening outside now, because all the people, all apart from the top 10% of the people who are into the AI field, other 90% people just know about ChatGPT. They don't know anything regarding the AI. They just know about ChatGPT. What I believe is because people say people who know how to use ChatGPT, they say I know AI. I have seen people, I know how to use ChatGPT, then I know AI. This kind of funny things will also be happening outside. There is, as said, this is lack of awareness again.
Mm. A lot of people are actually they try to streamline that. Okay, if there are two three prominent apps in AI, so people think that it's just that, but there is so much more. There is, and AI has opened the doors to so many platforms, so many apps that are yet to be explored by people.
Exactly. So when we are talking about applications part, from Amazon to Netflix. Every application now using an AI to make the people restrict to those applications, because most of the people didn't know about it. All the applications are using AI in the applications. So how exactly they're using this AI into their applications?
So these days, largely all platforms, almost all platforms are
Yeah.
using AI, very rightly said by you. And what else is being used by them are certain techniques and strategies, like a very common one being the hook model. That
Hmm.
is something that actually keeps people, engaged with a particular kind of platform. It just keeps you within it and you're on it for a long time. But
Yeah.
when we talk about AI, it is very much prevalent in the recommendation systems you have. It could be in music, it could be in your feeds, it could be on in your reel suggestions, and even using algorithms to know how and why is your choice, like what exactly are you liking, what do you want to
Hmm.
see more. If you are,
Hmm.
for example, just scrolling through the reels, and it has the power to just know your interest and choices based on your screen time, based on the number of sends on your reels. So
Hmm.
algorithms are being used. That is a major use of AI in knowing our choices and what we like and what is our preferences in our content. And the second one being the recommendation system. And by the recommendation system, I don't just mean the recommendations that we get, but the nudges that we get. Now,
Hmm.
when you get certain recommendations on your OTT or on your, for example, any streaming platform, so
Hmm.
there, when you are just scrolling through and you get recommendations, you feel that you are the one choosing a particular kind of video or a particular kind of OTT. But what
Yeah.
you don't realize is that maybe the algorithm has prepared it for you, and the
Yeah.
algorithm knows that you are going to choose among that, and it is giving you that platter, and then you
Yeah.
choose it. So that's how it's nudging us to believe that we are the ones who are making the decisions, but maybe it's the other way around that is taking place.
So I completely agree with whatever you have said, because most of the people think the application is showing what exactly I'm looking for at that particular point of time. But what they don't know is it already predicted what you might want. So this is how exactly it is working in the Instagram as well. As you mentioned, if we like a video, if we like one funny meme, we'll see all the funny memes, and it will throw the algorithm will throw other one or two cricketing reels if we like them as well, next cricketing reels. So it is making us to stick to that particular application for a longer period of time. So it I was been into that so many times. When I said, when I get bored of doing work, I just open the Instagram. I wanted to watch it for 5 minutes, just 5 minutes. But without knowing anything, I will be watching the Instagram for more than 30 minutes to 1 hour. After 1 hour, I'll be realizing that I have watched Instagram for more than an hour. It is like, then I realized that it is making us to stick to that particular application, so that we will be staying in that more time in the application. One way it is actually doing. Even though I know it is actually trying to make me stick to this particular application, I'm still using that. I'm still watching the reels to get that refreshment and also the instant dopamine that we are actually wanted.
Exactly.
So that instant dopamine, initially we used to stick it for 2 to 3 minutes, like a human. Like we used to watch at least long length videos, or we used to read big articles from Wikipedia. Either it is from Wikipedia or normal articles. Now a watching span got decreased. Our thinking power got decreased, and also our attention span got also decreased.
Hmm.
So what exactly happening in this human behavior? How exactly AI is impacting on human behavior? Because we want the instant dopamine, we want the instant success, we want the instant happiness, we want the instant sadness as well.
So when we talk about this, you are very right because AI is just serving you that instant
Mm.
gratification. You want it and you are just a click away. You want to know about the deepest of facts, you have AI. You want to
Mm.
know that, okay, what is what, or what want to gather a knowledge about a particular kind of field, AI is there. Even for creating things, creating images, and even now creating videos, AI is there.
Mm.
So it is actually giving you that instant gratification. But what earlier used to happen, that we used to wait for things to happen, and that dopamine was something somewhat we used to feel that it is special, that it is coming out of so much effort and after so much patience and time. But these days it's just a few clicks away. Everything is a few clicks away. So
Mm.
AI is hampering with our patience level and our level of engagement and attention span is getting impacted. Now these days we have the very common phrase of how we have attention spans lesser than a goldfish, and AI is further facilitating with that.
Yeah.
But other than that, AI also impacts us by keeping us in a bubble. Now we only see content these days about what we want, what we like, and what we would want to watch. And
Hmm.
we call this the echo chamber effect. When we are surrounded with views and feeds which are only related to what we agree with. And a lot of time, a confirmation bias is also there, that we see a certain kind of content and we are like, oh, this matches with our existing belief system. So it is
Yeah.
just, keeping us in a bubble of what we like and what we don't like, which means it is also limiting our diverse perspectives about what
Hmm.
further we would want to know. Like you very rightly gave an example of how earlier you used to search through books, and then then it came the age of Wikipedia, that you'll search through different websites. But now
Hmm.
it's like you'll search one thing and you'll get it in one domain, in one particular response, and we feel that okay, we've got every single thing. But that means we are also getting caged in one particular perspective, while
Hmm.
whereas earlier we had diverse perspectives. So
Exactly.
by keeping us in one limited bubble of viewpoints, that is one impact of AI. Another impact of AI that we discussed was how it is nudging us in having certain beliefs, having certain choices, even things that we thought we might not get engaged in. It tries to engage us with it by studying our responses and studying
Hmm.
our emotional cues on it. Even
Okay.
how much time we are spending on our social media, even through that AI is trying to know us, and then accordingly again it shows us pages that we might want to see or we might not want to see. So that is another impact of it.
So not only that, and because of that, it is also showing us the personalized ads as well, like the advertisement that we are watching. If we go to one, if we wanted to buy this particular mic, so what exactly if we visit to Flipkart and click on this, immediately that particular ad will be seeing in Facebook, will be seeing in Instagram, will be seeing in YouTube. Everywhere it will be
Correct.
coming along with us until unless we go back and see it again. So this is also one thing that is actually happening. Most of the people didn't know about it actually.
Even when you talk about a certain thing or a certain product, that okay, you're talking to your friend that I want to buy this particular kind of mic and from this particular company, chances are a lot of times you're gonna see mics coming on your feed, on your personalized ads, etc., because the algorithm is not just knowing your choices by what you see on the screen, but also
Hmm.
listens to what you speak. So that is also one of
Exactly.
the components.
So another example is this Google Assistant. If we say, "Okay, Google," it automatically get reacted, and it will also try to give us the output. So what I wanted to tell by showing this was, Google is already listening to us. Until unless we say, "Okay, Google," it is not activating itself. It is actually waiting for our command. No, most of the people didn't know about it. Google just waiting for a command to say, "Okay, Google." Once we say it, it automatically get reacted and will try to give us what exactly we wanted. So
Exactly.
our data is not safe, and we are not in safe hands.
Because our conversations are still being there and being heard by the devices.
Uh,
Yes, then according to the choices, according to the product you were talking, you began to see those advertisements as well.
yeah. So can we save ourselves with hiding our information from these X AI platforms? Can we save ourselves?
These days we can't really say that we can 100% protect ourselves, because there is no guarantee for anything. But
Hmm.
of course, when we talk about different apps and different platforms, have you ever noticed how there are different of course there is terms and conditions that barely any of us read, but apart from that there are also permissions, that would you like this particular app or platform to link to your contacts, or have access to
Hmm.
your location, have access to your microphone, have access to your camera. Now these are certain permissions that you can take care of in certain apps and platforms. In certain
Hmm.
apps it might not be possible, since the use of it is regarding the camera or regarding the chatting, etc. But
Hmm.
if you are aware of these permissions, and if you don't want to give access to certain contacts and permissions, so this is one of the ways you can in some way protect yourself. But again, These days there is no guarantee for 100% safeguarding.
Okay. So once it already taken the contact, like when you're saying like we can actually disable a couple of permissions, like not allowing a contact details, contacts or else camera. If we disable it now, will it the data deleted from the database or it's already taken?
Now, that is a question that even I would like to consult someone with, since I also struggle with these, in-depth cybersecurity related, niche. My niche
Hmm.
is something else, but yeah, even I would be, interested to know more about this.
Because it's already taken, right? If I have taken this pen, I have already used this pen. And if you're asking if I'm taken this pen from you, I have already used this pen. And if you're asking me back, I'll give the pen because I already used it. There is a chances, right? I just like I'm just predicting. What is your
That's
opinion
a
on this?
that's an interesting point of view. So you are saying like if we have already given the permission for the
Hmm.
contacts, so
Hmm.
are their contacts being used or not? Are you saying that?
Yeah, yeah, we can also that is also one point, and the other point that I'm saying is it's already taken, and if we are disabling it now, the information from now on which is stored in our mobile will not be transferred to that particular application.
Oh,
So
all
there
right.
are two cases, right? One is the information is already taken, and if we are disabling the if we are disabling it now, from now on the information won't be passed to that particular application. The other criteria is that the information is taken is already used. If we are also if we are disabling it, it might already use it. I'm just giving you points on the table. So there are
That's
chances, right? Some just
these are interesting narratives to look at because once you start to ponder upon this, come to think of things that might be possible. But
yeah.
again, because of lack of transparency in some way or the other, we are tend to think about these things and ponder on these things. So that's
Hmm.
why, yes.
Because somehow only God knows. Even the creators who are creating it might not know about it. What I believe is the reason behind I'm saying is I forgot about the name of him, the godfather of AI. If you remember about the name of him, so what he said in one of the podcast was, I quit of from the AI field because I don't wanted to be in a in the part of AI because it's gonna destroy the entire world. He gave the bold statement that I don't want it to be a part of a something which can destroy the entire world and people don't know about it. What is your take on this? Is it really true?
I mean, with AI advancing at such a rapid rate, and like we are living in a time that every few days we see advancements in AI and
Hmm.
technology like none other. So
Hmm.
there is a huge possibility of how AI is going to, of course, mentally take over us. And it
Hmm.
is going to, if not taken responsibility, and if we are not able to use it responsibly, then there
Hmm.
is a high chance that AI is going to destroy a lot of mental facets. Like, of course, creative thinking is one of them, critical thinking is one of them, and it is going to in very like subtle ways right now, but
Hmm.
maybe chances are that even intenser ways, it might, destroy our thinking capacities, our creative thinking and decision making capacities. So,
Hmm.
in terms of the psyche and in terms of the kind of effect it is having on our minds and on our
Hmm.
behavior, I feel that AI can be dangerous. It can be really dangerous if not dealt properly and responsibly, if there are no guidelines.
So rules are meant to broke, like the rules already broken because nowadays the AI is going too wild in the market. Like all the AI companies are doing so many things. They are in a competition. They are in a running race. They wanted to see who is gonna win in this running race. Everyone is trying to run faster and align so many things into one thing. The recent update from Nano Banana, so which I came to know about, like when we are discussing about the privacy part. So the recent thing that I came to know about it, there is one scenario which has happened. So one girl, like she uploaded her photo to Nano Banana to make the recent trend that already came. She uploaded an image to the Nano Banana and she is trying to convert that to the image like the recent trend. So she has a mole on her shoulder here exactly, but the image that she uploaded to create the image, she was complete shoulders. But the image that it generated, the Nano Banana generated, it came with half sleeves, I guess, if I'm not wrong. So there is a mole on her shoulder here exactly. When I have seen that, the information is already taken. So what is your take on this? Like, is it really like, is it a bold prediction of by AI, or it is actually can see beyond things that we can't imagine?
Now, the fact is, when we hear about this, we are mind blown and we feel that this is actually crazy. But what we don't realize is that if certain kind of thing is taking place, that it is predicting it so well, chances
Hmm.
are that it might have detected the data or the patterns from maybe her social media possibilities. These are some
Okay.
hypothetical possibilities that
Mm-hmm.
it could be that the Nano Banana or any platform had the particular data about that person, about that girl, that
Hmm.
could be uploaded by social media, by a website, or anything else. And because of that image, the details were already there. So
Yeah.
it wasn't much of a big task to replicate that exactly. So because of the existing data, the possibility is that it was able to replicate it so well. And that's why, as a result, we were mind blown to know this, that, okay, how can it replicate so well? But maybe we missed the part that it already had the data through different platforms and the existing database.
Exactly. So that's what even I felt, because she might already uploaded another image with sleeveless. So from there, because AI all anyway, AI will be taking the data for us. So that's what I came to
Never forget.
understand.
And AI never forgets. We might think that we are uploading something and when we delete it, it's deleted, but that's not really true. Once something is there in the system, it's just there. It might show
Hmm.
us deleted, but we have already uploaded it, then it's there.
So, and the fact that we have discussed till now are something like eye-opening for so many people, which includes me as well, because we know only the outer layer that people quoted to us. People wanted us to see like an interface. Like people, like the people, the person who made this pen wanted us to see the outside of it, and we don't want it, we should not see the inside of it. So the likewise, people are hiding so many things, as we have discussed till now, what I believe. So the initial discussion when we are talking about, like you have used a terminology called
Hmm.
rewiring psychology. So what exactly you mean, like rewiring psychology?
So, when we talk about rewiring of our psychology, our psyche, and mindset, we are talking about how what we used to think, how we used to think is being changed by AI. A,
Hmm.
a big aspect of it is what we discussed in nudging, the nudging
Hmm.
system, that our thoughts and our choices are getting nudged to what the
Hmm.
algorithm shows us, to what
Hmm.
the AI shows us. So that is one of the things in how our mind is getting rewired. But another aspect of how we are rewiring ourselves is that we are over depending on technology. These days, we are counting more on technology than on our own selves. Like
Exactly.
there are certain, memes also these days on this, that, in the future when we are making even a basic decision like saying hello to another person. So this was
Yeah.
so the person is like asking the chatbot that, okay, what should I answer? So when we are talking about this, we are also talking about how much we are depending on. We are totally depending it even for replying back for certain maybe responses, replying to a person, or even making certain decisions on our own selves, which reflects on the part
Hmm.
that our decision making capabilities and even our critical thinking capabilities
Hmm.
are getting influenced by AI. We are depending more on AI than on ourselves. So this is
Exactly.
another aspect of how we are getting rewired. And a very common thing is our attention span, that
Hmm.
these days we don't have much of patience or attention to actually cater to the long form content, or a very interesting or in-depth researchful thing. We
Yeah.
lack focus and we lack that patience to just persistently read through and go through with that. So that
Yeah.
is the third aspect, the very common aspect that each of us is facing. I would also like to talk about decision fatigue.
Hmm.
Now, when we are faced with a lot of responses and a lot of overwhelming information, sometimes when you'll ask for a particular thing and you get a response in so many options and so many variety of answers in it, you might
Hmm.
have a decision fatigue. You might feel exhausted with what is the right one and which option to choose. So
Yeah.
AI is also causing decision fatigue with a lot of times when we get a wide variety of responses. So this is another outcome of how AI is rewiring us.
So you mean like AI is rewiring us from human minds to AI system?
Yeah, we
So
can
that's
say.
what it is in a simple format, like in a normal language. So we initially we used to take inputs from human minds to do whatever the thing that we need to do. So now we are rewiring ourselves from human minds to AI system. So that is what you mean?
Exactly. Like that is the funny part, that we tried to train AI. Like today, AI has a lot of data, it has a lot of existing knowledge and database. In a way,
Hmm.
we have trained AI. And now AI is trying to train us to how to think and how to, have different options and process things.
So when you're telling about it, I this thing came into my mind. Initially, we used to remember everything, phone numbers. We used to remember 10, 20 phone numbers, like different 10, 20 phone numbers of the people, like our entire family members. Initial part, like initial days. So now we are not remembering the phone numbers. We are remembering how we have stored the information. So from remembering the numbers to remembering the how we have stored the information, we have changed. We have traveled a very long way.
Absolutely. Like
Uh,
from using AI and from actually, looking in the retrospect that how we used to do those difficult tasks and, different things, and thinking that, okay, this is something that only we can do. And now
hmm.
AI is also trying to do that. And now we have totally, shifted our gear towards depending on AI. The transformation has been a very changing one.
Exactly. Even people are not having time to take their mobile and dial the number and call to the person. Like they're saying, hey, Google, call to this particular person. This,
Absolutely.
we have traveled from this to completely different path. Like I don't know where we are going to go. So I believe like we'll be seeing this Robo movie. Like if you have watched the movie Rajnikant sir movie, so we might have we will be definitely seeing that as well, because the next big thing is going to be happen was robotics. Most of the people like right now it might be underrated. I believe the robotics would be the future of every field that we will be getting into. So what do you say on this?
Robotics is something that we've been seeing in different sci-fi movies, and something of a techno fantasy that
Yeah.
we aspire, or we used to look forward to a future where there are robots, etc. But what we did not realize is that maybe now, more than robots, the systems, the machines, AI machines,
Hmm.
and machine intelligence is something that is going to take over more. We are going to, like, for example, instead of having a conversation with a robot, what we used to imagine, now we are having conversations with the system itself. So of course robotics is also going to play a big role. But the key to all of this, that one thing that comes very common in all these things, is
Yeah.
convenience and accessibility. Because of these two things, these things like robotics, new technological advancements, and AI, they are
Hmm.
on the rise.
They will be in the future as well. We will be seeing the Robo movie and Kalki movie as well. So people will be fighting for that units. Like you give me 100 units, we might not we our children or grandchildren might be somehow they might be into that kind of situation. Hopefully they should not, but yeah, there are chances as well. That is what I believe.
It is unpredictable.
Yeah, like the DeepMind CEO recently quoted was, the future is not about AI. It's not it is in the panel discussion, if I'm not wrong. During the panel discussion, the host asked what student need to concentrate on. They need to learn AI, or they need to learn robotics, or what should they concentrate on? The answer that he gave was actually mind opening and eye opening as well. He said, the future of learning is learning how to learn. It's not about learning AI, it's not about learning robotics, it is learning how to learn, because we need to know how to learn, because most of the people are lagging in it. So that is one thing that I would like to say. So we came to the end, and I just wanted to ask one final thing. So many people are wanted to learn about, people are trying to learn about AI, cyber security, or something related to AI field. So what exactly they need to concentrate on when they started learning? Because as you said, like you'll be taking these sessions and workshops to the students.
Okay, so when we are talking about learning more about AI, of course, there are different courses, there are different mediums. Like learning has no barrier these days, because thanks to technology, a big pro has been that how learning has become so accessible, and there are, just different ways to seek education. But one thing to take care of is, of course, whenever you are trying to learn more about AI, and you are trying to learn to use it, you need to
Mm.
learn the like guidelines of it as well. Like you should be aware of what repercussions can be there, how powerful and impactful AI can be. And
Mm.
don't let AI try to rewire your thinking, or rewire yourself so much that you lose your creativity or critical thinking skills or decision making skills. So being aware is the first step. Of course,
Mm.
we need to be when we are learning more about AI. I would, actually request everyone to be very mindful of what impact it is having on their minds. Like if they're
Hmm.
interacting with any kind of artificial intelligence, or for that matter, they are even on social media, just be aware of how it is making them feel. Like what kind of emotion surge is there, what kind of
Yeah.
mental space they are being carried to. Like a lot of times when we are just even scrolling through different videos and short form content, one short form content can make you feel a particular kind of emotion, and the next can just completely change your mood, or just completely change your state of mind. So
Hmm.
being that aware and knowing why you are doing a particular action, if you're liking a particular content, if you are sending someone else a particular kind of content, you need to ask yourself, is this really what I want, or is this really something that I choose? And why am I spending so much time, even after knowing that okay, maybe I've spent a lot of time today. So being
Hmm.
aware of these three things, I would say that's something I would like people to know if they are learning more about AI and they are trying to know what impact it is having on them.
Yes, thank you so much for that suggestion, and hopefully they'll be utilizing it to learn more about and know more about AI. So thank you so much, Drishya, for sharing your entire, not entire knowledge, like tip of your knowledge.
Thank you so much, Rajesh, for having me at the podcast. And it was absolutely wonderful to have such an insightful conversation. And I hope the audience like really, gain something out of it, and they are able to abstract a lot of knowledge from this wonderful podcast.
Yeah, that is what even I believe. Hopefully they'll learn something new. Thank you so much for